Hey, what's up guys, JDUBGaming here, and welcome to TechnoPack. What is TechnoPack? Well, TechnoPack is a custom mod pack based off of two mod packs that me and some friends played a lot, and we decided we wanted our own mod pack. So it's kind of based off of Attack of the B Team from the Technic launcher, and a hat pack, which is a private pack on Feed the Beast launcher. The code, you just put in the code hat films. So yeah, they're both really cool mod packs, so it's kind of based off of them. In fact, actually, this mod pack is just our own version of hat pack, so we're just using hat pack, but we added a few mods. We added Mekanism, Metallurgy, and Minechem, and I think that's it. So yeah, it's a really fun mod pack. So yeah, make sure you check out Hat Pack, and you can download the mods I said. I'll try and put links in the description for all of that so you can take a look at it. And today we are doing a mod showcase, and the mod we're going to be looking at today is Mekanism. And it's a really cool mod. It's a really big mod. This mod is probably going to have to be split, this showcase is probably going to have to be split up into a couple parts. So let's get started. Okay, so once you get started in Mekanism, you're going to need a source of power. And to get a source of, here are your different options for sources of power. Some of them are more in end game stuff, while some of them are very easy to obtain. We have the heat generator, solar generator, advanced solar generator, wind turbine, biogenerator, and hydrogen generator. I'll show you how each of them create power. The heat generator, you can put items such as coal, lava, anything like that in here, and also if you surround it with blocks such as lava, it will create energy from that, just nowhere near as much as if you had the item inside it. The solar generator just makes power from the sun. Right now it's not because it's nighttime. Let me set it to day quick. So this one will create power from the sun. This one creates 100 joules per tick. And the advanced solar generator creates 800 joules per tick. Your wind turbine creates power just from the wind, and this creates 1.6 kilojoules per tick. So this creates a decent amount. No, sorry, I've been getting this wrong. No, I haven't. Sorry. You have the biogenerator, which creates energy from biofuel, and I can show you quick how to create that. You take a crusher, which we'll be looking at shortly. You put in any type of sapling, dead bush, sugarcane, and you create biofuel, which can then be used to power your biogenerator. And finally, you have the hydrogen generator, which creates power from hydrogen. I'll show you the recipes for the heat generator, because that's going to be your one you want to start off with. So for your heat generator, you're going to need 1 furnace, 2 wooden planks of any type, 3 iron, 2 copper, and 1 osmium. Now copper, Mekanism does add its own copper, but if you have anything like thermal expansion, Tinker's Construct, anything like that, the copper from those will work fine. But the only ore that is specific to this mod is the osmium. So to get that, you're going to want to find yourself some osmium ore, and you can use that, and that's going to be very essential to the various machines and stuff that you're going to need. So your heat generator is your best source of power to start with. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do once you have your heat generator is, well, the first machine that you want to make is called a Metallurgy infuser. It is used to create a couple things that are going to be essential to create many other machines. And to make your Metallurgy infuser, it's simply 4 iron, 2 redstone, an osmium ingot, and 2 furnaces. And this is going to be used to create enriched alloy, which is from iron and redstone, and also steel ingots, which is created from smelting steel dust, which you get from putting charcoal or coal and enriched iron. And enriched iron is created from charcoal or coal and iron in the Metallurgy infuser. So to power this, when you first begin, you're going to just want to place it next to your heat generator. I have 64 blocks of coal I'm going to put in. And it will consume them for power and start generating electricity. And you can see that this internal battery for the metallurgic infuser is already full, and that this internal battery is quickly filling up. So once you got your metallurgic infuser, you can start creating the alloys needed to create various other machines. The first thing you're going to probably want to make yourself once you have your metallurgic infuser are some universal cables. These are used to transfer power from one place to another. There's 4 types of cables. You have basic universal cables, advanced universal cables, elite universal cables, and ultimate universal cables. This is your lowest tier, and then this is your highest tier. The recipes for the basic is just 2 steel and 1 redstone. For the advanced, it's going to be 2 enriched alloy and 1 basic universal cable. Elite universal cables are 1 basic universal cable and then 2 circuits. You can use basic circuits from Calclavia Core, electronic circuits from Industrial Craft 2, or I'd recommend control circuits because they're simply 2 redstone and 1 enriched alloy. And then finally you have your ultimate universal cables, which require a basic universal cable and 2 atomic cores, which we'll go over in a little while. Another thing you're going to want to work on creating early on are your energy cubes, which are essentially batteries to store your power. You have basic, advanced, elite, and ultimate. Each one is an upgrade of the previous. The basic requires 2 lapis, 4 redstone, 1 steel casing, which is steel and osmium, as well as 2 energy tablets, which are enriched alloy, gold, and redstone. The advanced requires the basic as well as 2 energy tablets, 4 enriched alloy, and 2 gold. The elite energy circuit requires the advanced, 2 diamonds, and 4 control circuits, as well as 2 more energy tablets. And finally, your ultimate requires 4 atomic cores, 2 energy tablets, and 2 obsidian ingots. Again, we'll go over the atomic cores as well as the obsidian ingots shortly. Okay, here I'm going to quickly show you. Here are all the various machines in Mekanism, and we're going to go through them all. I'll just show you very quickly. We have the rotary condensator, chemical oxidizer, chemical infuser, chemical injection chamber, electrolytic separator, precision sawmill, chemical dissolution chamber, chemical washer, chemical crystallizer, enrichment chamber, osmium compressor, combiner, crusher, metallurgic infuser, purification chamber, and energized smelter. I'm going to first show you the precision sawmill. The precision sawmill, when powered, is basically a better way to make your wooden planks. You put in your various logs, or anything wooden even, but I recommended, the main reason is you'd put in a log and you get 6 planks as well as 1 sawdust, which can be used to make paper, cardboard boxes. It's used in carpentry for something, but it's kind of like a waste product, but it is somewhat useful. You can also take items like your trap door and grind it into oak wood planks, your planks into sticks and sawdust, fences into sticks, redstone torch into stick and redstone, bolt back into planks, all sorts of things. Anything wooden basically can be ground up, and it's more efficient than simply crafting it. The other machine we're going to look at very quickly is the energized smelter, which is very simple. When you're powered, you put your items in the top and it smelts them. So it's pretty much a furnace, just it's faster than a vanilla furnace, and it does consume power. Another thing I'm going to quickly show you are the various pipes and tubing other than the universal cables that you have in this mod. you have the mechanical pipes, which are capable of transferring anything in the fluid registry for forge, so any fluids can go through here, especially water. Any fluid added by mods can be pumped through these pipes. The pressurized tubes are for gases in Mekanism, such as hydrogen and oxygen, and we'll be looking at that. And then for item transport, we have a couple different pipes. We have the logistical transporter, the restrictive transporter, and the diversion transporter. Each one of these does a different thing. The logistical transporter simply does items and blocks. The restrictive transporter does the same thing, but it's only used if no other paths are available. And the diversion transporter is controllable by redstone, so if you take, let's take a lever quick. If you take a lever, you can, if you mess around with that, you can deactivate and activate, so will use this, will you not use that. So yeah, those are your pipes. Okay, so the first thing that's more in-depth that we're going to look at is the ore processing in Mekanism. There are four tiers in Mekanism. Each one of them does a specific amount of ore. Your tier 0 will give you 1 ingot for each ore. Tier 1 will give you 2. Tier 2, 3. Tier 3 will give you 4. And eventually, when you get to tier 4, you will get 5 ingots for every ore. So let's take a look from tier 0 all the way up to tier 4. So let's first start with tier 0. Okay, so before we look at tier 0, one thing to note is you can use most power sources from other mods, such as the creative energy cell from thermal expansion. Any type of power should work, and they will also go through your universal cables. So tier 0 is the basic ore processing. You just take an energized smelter or even a furnace, you put your ore in, it smelts it, almost done, and then you get your 1 ingot. So it's very simple, and that's how you start. But we're going to start looking at how to start expanding on this system. And note, each tier will use the previous tiers. So let's take a look at tier 1, which will double our ores. Quick side note, because I forgot to show you, the recipe for your energized smelter is very simple. It's just 4 cobblestone, 2 glass, 1 steel casing, and 2 control circuits. The machines you're going to need to set up tier 1 processing, you're going to need your energized smelter or just a furnace, and you're also going to need an enrichment chamber, which is created with 4 enriched alloy, 2 redstone, 1 steel casing, and 2 control circuits. For this system, all you do is you put your iron ore in your enrichment chamber, you wait, you get 2 iron dust, which you then put in your energized smelter, and each one will turn into an iron ingot. There we've got 1 ingot, and the second one is working on it. Almost there. And there you go. So now that is our tier 1 system for doubling ingots. Now let's take a look at tier 2 to triple our ores. Your tier 2 setup is going to be a lot more complicated than your tier 1. You're going to need an electrolytic separator, which requires 2 enriched alloy, 4 iron ingots, and 2 redstone, and an electrolytic core, which is 5 enriched alloy, 1 gold dust, 1 iron dust, and 2 osmium dust. You get these dusts by putting your ingots into the enrichment chamber. Will create 1, or as we saw before, 1 ore would create 2 dusts. You're also going to need a purification chamber, which is 4 control circuits, 2 atomic cores, and 2 enriched alloys, as well as an enrichment chamber. And the atomic cores, I told you I'd show you them. I'll show you them now. Require 4 enriched alloy, 2 osmium dust, a diamond, and 2 pulverized obsidian or obsidian dust or anything of the sort. You can create them in Mekanism. Well, you can just pulverize an obsidian or things like that. You're also going to need a crusher, which is 2 control circuits, 4 redstone, 1 steel casing, and 2 lava buckets. You're also going to need a source of water. I'm going to be using an aqueous accumulator from thermal expansion, but you can also use, there's an electric pump in this mod, which I will show you in a little while, that you can use, and you're just going to want to pump infinite water. You're also going to want some mechanical pipes, as well as the pressurized tubes that we looked at earlier. The mechanical pipes, I don't think I showed you the recipes. The mechanical pipes are just 2 steel and 1 bucket. The pressurized tubes are 2 steel and 1 glass. And I'll show you quick, the logistical transporters are 2 steel and a control circuit. Your restrictive one is 2 steel and an iron bar. And your diversion is 2 steel, an iron bar, and 6 redstone. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is get your source of water. I'm using an aqueous accumulator as stated because they're really easy to set up. They don't require power or anything, and they create a lot of water, especially if they're surrounded by water like this. What you're going to want to do then is take your mechanical pipes, and you're going to want to place them, and you can see the water starting to come out. Where do I want to put this? Put it here, and then you're going to want to take your electrolytic separator and just have it pump right into there. Get that out of my way. And you can see the internal water tank starting to fill up. So if we power this, this will start to split the water into 2 parts hydrogen and 1 part oxygen, because it's H2O. And for this we're going to simply need the oxygen, so you're going to want to click on this little button here by hydrogen. It'll start venting out the hydrogen because we're not going to need it. And for the oxygen side, which is right over here, you're going to want to take your mechanical pipes. You can see the oxygen in there now. And we're going to want to put down our purification chamber. You can see it has this little tank here will fill up with oxygen once we connect it with our pressurized tubes. This is filled with oxygen, and this will continue until the internal oxygen buffer tank, I guess, in here is full, and then it'll stop because it's full. So your purification chamber, you're also going to want your crusher, and actually I'm going to move these up a bit so that it looks a little nicer. And there we go. So here are the machines. So here's the machines you're going to need. You're going to need your purification chamber with the oxygen. You're going to put your iron ore in. I'm sorry, I'm doing this wrong, apparently. No, this should be working. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I was just being really stupid and I forgot to power them. So, if we put our iron ore into the purification chamber, you can hear it going and it will start to create iron. This iron ore will be turned into 3 iron clumps, which then go into our crusher, which is very noisy. And the crusher will then crush the iron clumps into dirty iron dust. We put the dirty iron dust into the enrichment chamber, and the enrichment chamber will clean it and give us our iron dust. And then we smelt our iron dust into our iron ingots. So it's a bit more complicated than the tier 1 setup, but you do get triple your ores now, which is a lot better than doubling. It doesn't seem like that much, but once you put it into a large scale, it can really mean a lot. A quick note is this system can be improved a lot if you use your logistical transporters, or you can use item ducts from thermal expansion, or you could even use an applied energistics system, which we'll probably go over in a different showcase. To completely automate this, you can have it pumping from one machine to the next. Or if you set it up correctly, you can even place the blocks next to each other with your configuration tab, which is a bit confusing. We may go over that a little later. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for part 1. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tune in next time where we are going to take a look at the quadrupling and even quintupling our ores into 4 or 5 ingots. And we're also going to take a look at some of the other fun things that Mekanism has, such as the jetpack. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and make sure you tune in next time. Thanks for watching. So take me away.